this.
I got to tell you, let's start with this. You had a $1 million incentive if you made the Pro Bowl and the playoffs in the same season. So I guess congratulations in order on two fronts. How's that feel?
It's great. It means that you played well individually and as a team and as a defense. You had high expectations and you got into the playoffs, which is always the ultimate goal. So we're riding high, AFC North champs, and we have a huge game this week, a great opportunity to go out and play our style, play our game, and advance on.
Well, you certainly did get the job done when you had to. I mean, 6-1 in your last 7 games to make the playoffs, and teams don't always respond that way. What was the difference here, Eric?
We reevaluated ourselves at our bye, and speaking defensively, we wanted to shore up some areas that we weren't doing too well at, and we reset our goals of the last 7 weeks to try to be the best defense in the league, to create turnovers, to shore up to the red zone, give our offense help when they needed it, and to give our team belief and to lead our team to as many wins as possible. And then Lamar got in there and our offense started rolling, and we've really built a strong dynamic with our team. The belief, the closeness, it's a fun group to be a part of. One of the best teams I've been on.
Let's talk about Lamar for just a minute, because he's got to be one of the most dissected and discussed quarterbacks in the National Football League. You don't play alongside him, but you do get the opportunity to watch him every day. What have you seen from Lamar Jackson?
He's just a great kid. He's energetic. He's passionate. He's all about ball. He's all about winning, and he's all about the team. And everyone can look at how he plays, what he does from play-to-play basis. He's 6-1 as a starter, and for a rookie to do that and give our team the jump start that we needed has been huge. And we know that no matter what happens, that we believe in him, we believe in our team, and that's going to take us a long way.
You said it was one of the most fun teams you've played on, or why? What makes this team different?
It's just the selfless attitude of every guy on this team. There's no egos. There's no side agendas. Everyone is playing for each other. They sacrifice for each other. And when it's all said and done, it's not always the most talented team that wins the whole thing. It's the best team, the team that does everything right and plays for each other. So it's been a great group to be a part of, and to push and to motivate, and as them doing, motivate myself. So we just gotta keep it going. Have fun, play loose. It's a huge opportunity for us. We've been playing playoff games for 7 weeks now, so we don't need to change anything. Our mentality, we've been fighting our tails off for a month and a half. So keep that same focus and drive, and ratchet up a little more and see how we do.
All right, let's talk ice cream, shall we? Take me through what's a postseason sundae look like? Do you switch it up? You got more sprinkles? What?
Yeah, it always switched up after each win. I head to the grocery store on the way home, and I get my ideas and thoughts from walking down the aisles of what direction do I want to go to. Do I go more chocolate? Do I go more like a cookies and cream ice cream with Oreos and graham cracker and marshmallows and
bacon?
Kit Kats and
bacon
Snickers?
On a sundae?
Oh, that's disgusting.
No,
anyone who likes cold chocolate bacon, no.
Come on.
No, bacon should only be eaten hot and crispy. No.
Yeah, on a sundae.
No.
All right. Listen, forget it, Eddie. I don't know about your ice cream truck. You won't be serving bacon. But now you had a fan who said, he may regret this now, that if you went to the postseason, he'd buy you an ice cream truck. I thought at first you were going to buy the ice cream truck, and then I said, oh, no, that's not really. He's going to get an ice cream truck. So have you heard from this guy?
Yeah, so he said a couple weeks ago, he tweeted at me and said, if you guys win the division, I'll buy you an ice cream truck. And so obviously I found the tweet. I don't forget things like this. And I said, so where's my ice cream truck? And I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but I think it would be hilarious for me driving up to the game with an old beat-up ice cream truck with nothing inside. It would be the funniest thing ever, but it's great for the fans and for myself. I love eating ice cream, and hopefully I have a chance after this game this week to have some more ice cream with the kids and my wife.
All right, 2 quick ones before we let you go. One, do you have any inclination to let Ice Cream Guy off the hook?
I'm a nice guy, so.
Okay, all right.
I mean,
fair enough.
I'm not gonna like make him break his rent to buy me a ice cream truck.
Your kid can't go to college, but I got myself an ice cream truck.
If he's a man of his word, then I respect that. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Will you promise to drive it to the games if you get an ice cream truck?
100%. It would be the coolest thing ever to have an ice cream truck with no ice cream in it showing up to the game, and proud as can be. So we'll see what happens.
You heard it here first, Eric. I know it's a busy week. We appreciate it, and best of luck over the weekend.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
All right, ice cream truck or no, here's some guys Eric Weddle will have to worry about this weekend. Melvin Gordon, or maybe expected to play, despite getting banged up in the season finale against the Broncos. Gordon was held to 54 total yards, but 1 touchdown against the Ravens in Week 16. And then there's Hunter Henry. He has a chance at playing for the first time since injuring his knee in off-season practices in May, but Coach Anthony Lynn says he'll need to see that he's ready to go before he commits to having Henry in the lineup. Teddy, what's the biggest challenge from Baltimore? Yeah, what?
So you're telling me Hunter Henry may play in this game?
I mean, he said maybe. He's saying there's a chance.
So Hunter Henry has a possibility to play. He's been getting work. Okay, that's good. I'm just making sure.
Okay, yeah.
You don't know about my past, Wendy. I'm just making sure about
Here
Hunter
for
Henry.
you.
Okay, let's go. Biggest challenge for
Okay, Teddy. All right,
you all know what I'm talking about out there, don't you? You do. Okay. I'll talk about the adjustments the Los Angeles Chargers are going to have to make, because in that matchup a couple of weeks ago, the length the receivers going down the field, Phillip Rivers just didn't have any time. So any adjustments they have, if Melvin Gordon's out there, and Hunter Henry is out there and he's running those short little routes. I mean, those are adjustments they may have to get used to. So those type of adjustments is what the Baltimore Ravens should look for. I'm not going to let Phillip Rivers stand back there over and over about 4 to 5 seconds and let him get sacked again, because they could not block the Raven rush in the first matchup. So, man, can Hunter Henry help? Absolutely possible if he plays. You go ahead and take that now. Go ahead, I'm done.
Okay, JoJo, I know you talked to Anthony Lynn, no? Did you?
What did I miss on Hunter Henry?
I'm so discombobulated.
Yeah.
I know. Is that anything here? What we got?
Okay.
Don't worry about it, Coach.
Well, first of all, Anthony Lynn's saying that he obviously needs to see something from your boy to make sure that he can play. But I just actually did the Ravens-Browns game, and boy, let me tell you, I saw that in person. Even though Lamar Jackson is a rookie, the swagger that was coming from both sides of the ball, just in handling a matchup where it was billed, Lamar Jackson and Baker Mayfield. Now, I thought they got a little tight in the second half, only the 2, field goals. And I think that they have to continue to show that they can press forward when under pressure in the second half. But I have this game, so I will see your boy, and hopefully I'll report on the news for you. Matter of fact, I might text you personally.
Let me know how he's doing.
Let me know how
he's doing.
All right, listen, well, Baltimore has completely shifted their identity since John Harbaugh named Lamar Jackson their starting quarterback in Week 11. A different kind of quarterback altogether. We know that. What he is, though, is 6-1, and they have rallied to win the AFC North. And now Jackson will become the youngest quarterback in NFL history to start a playoff game. He will turn 22 on Monday. Here's what he wants for his birthday.
That win, I can taste it. It's like Thanksgiving, that food, sweet potato pie. Definitely, I'm trying to taste that victory for my birthday Monday, so yeah.
Lamar's maturity has impressed me greatly. He's very mature. I think you guys see it. You see it when you interview him. Players see it when he walks around. Like I said before, he's very comfortable with who he is, and that's probably a sign of maturity for sure.
Well, JoJo, you referenced this, but you've covered this team a number of times this season. You've watched Lamar Jackson. Any concern at all about the way he will handle what will certainly be the biggest game of his young career?
Well, I think what you heard John Harbaugh saying is how comfortable Lamar seems to be in his skin. I mean, I was standing there right at the little steps that come out from the locker room as he was coming out on the field. Joe Flacco was behind him. He had this ease to him. The rapper Kodak Black was at the game, gave him the 1800 chain. They're from the 1800 block where they're from. So he was just cool, easy. It wasn't too big for him, which is what I saw a tad bit. Remember when we talked about it when they were playing the Chiefs and he had that final drive, and I felt like there was some, moments where he seemed, undecided with what he was doing. But this is a guy that, I mean, just was calling his number with ease, you know, in terms of going into the end zone. I was also struck by the yardage that Kenneth Dixon was also getting in this game, in addition to Gus Edwards, just showing even the Browns, who were very, very confident coming into that game, talking about Lamar Jackson's fumbleitis, you know, that they were still able to move the ball against him. So I think regardless of the fact that he is a rookie and he's the youngest ever, that they will show extreme confidence in this matchup.
I think the best way to get rid of those, if they are with Lamar Jackson, those playoff jitters, if you're a coaching staff, I think they have the perfect plan. You run the football with Lamar Jackson, because then you get that first hit. Don't call an option. Nothing where he can read and diagnose and possibly pitch. Quarterback power, quarterback counter, quarterback zone, anything like that can get him positive yardage and tackled early in the first series. And he'll settle down very quickly, and they'll hit him with those play action passes. He can have a great game.
Smart. Coach, what's the biggest challenge here in preparing a rookie quarterback for a game like this?
Well, the beauty of being young is
you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah, you don't know what you don't know. And you just look at his athleticism, and everybody's questioned, you know, how he's going to be in third down passing, how he is, his accuracy. This guy's a playmaker. And I look at John Harbaugh talk about how much he loves this team. In fact, he said it was his favorite team he's ever coached. And it is cool, having been in a situation like that where you're running basically the option in the NFL football a few years back with Tim Tebow, is watching that growth and watching that team rally around this guy. I mean, he's a magnet. And that team has rallied around him since he's become the starter.
And I want to also show that, you know, Lamar has, and I keep underlining this, but he has shown that he can pass the ball. And I go back to the game against the Chiefs where he made the 2 passing touchdowns in the second half. So he has shown a wide array to his game in addition to the athleticism.
Well, and you know what? When we asked Eric Weddle about that, you didn't see it there, and we said, you know, what do you say to the folks who say he can't throw, or he's 6-1? 6-1. 6-1 as a starter, and you cannot argue with that.
And over Baker Mayfield and the Browns, who was drafted #1 overall.
There you go.
Well, I was going to say, they're pretty close to being 7-0 if they don't give up a late touchdown
fair
drive
point.
against the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, they could be 7-0.
All right, well, it's a new year, right? January 2nd, so I don't know how many people made resolutions. A lot of people do. How about our teams that need to make some New Year's resolutions? We'll talk fresh starts next.
A 7.
Oh, I wondered if we were going to get the music. We are. I like it. All right. Happy New Year. Yay. Happy New Year. It happened a couple days ago.
One day.
Here's the thing. It doesn't matter, because when you make a New Year's resolution, I don't know who did. Did you guys? Did you? Anybody?
Not yet.
Okay, not yet. Anyway, you want to stick to them January 1st, 2nd, 3rd, so on. So listen, you know, the most common New Year's resolutions, according to the Google, are the following, and I believe these, actually it's Inc.com, but anyway, I believe these to be true, because everybody wants to, you know, gym memberships go sky high in January, they're going to exercise more, all of these things, read more, some of us want to read more, find another job, and so on. I myself have spent plenty of time with family and friends. I don't need any more. Not on my list. Okay, anyway, leave it right there. It's been a long few days at home.
I like my family, Wendy.
So good for you, Teddy. So we'll start with, actually we're going to start with Josita. Listen, we're talking about NFL teams or NFL players who need to make New Year's resolutions. And look, what's number 1 on our list is, well, number 3 actually, lose weight, JoJo. But those first 3 all sort of pertain. Who or what team needs to lose some weight?
Well, the New York Giants have a big decision again to make at the quarterback position. But to me, this is not so hard to make, since they are 8-24. 8-24
Ouch.
in the last 2 years. And so, yes, Manning should be revered because he has 2 Super Bowls and he comes from a lauded family. But it is time to cut the cord and get the new era going at the position and make some of your playmakers on the team that much happier in terms of getting the ball downfield and opening up the offense so you can win. Because what did Herm Edwards say? You play to win.
They
are 8-24. Okay.
Okay, fair enough. You're not the only person to ask this question or even to suggest this. Dave Gettleman, of course, talking to the media, was asked. Here's what he had to say about his quarterback.
Just to get it out there, just so you guys understand. Is everybody else's phones off? Eli and I had a very extensive conversation on Monday. No holds barred. He took me in the low post and won, but you know, the bottom line is it was a very honest and upfront conversation. I'll keep what was said private between he and I. We're going to do what's in the best interest. I will be watching film for the next who knows how long till my eyes bleed. We're going to evaluate everything. Everything's on the table for us. Everything is on the table for us.
All right. To be continued.
Little translation, another quarterback's coming.
That's right. I was gonna build the suspense, but you can cut to the chase. Yes, in all likelihood.
I wasn't sure whether you said extensive or expensive. I guess it was extensive.
They might be both.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
Speaking of expensive, save more, spend less. A lot of people want to do that in the new year, Teddy Bruschi.
And
who you got? Who needs to save more, spend less?
I'd say, the team that's been in the news a lot today, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I'd say save more based on, let's get all of these conversations of trading Antonio Brown out of there, because it hurts your cap, and also he's one of the best in the game. And so save more, keep your players that are there. This is a good football team. Connor's going to be even better next year. Ben says he's already coming back, and Pouncey's coming back. Save more, let Tomlin try once again to pull in the reins on that team. Hopefully the drama, which was a Le'Veon Bell, is now gone. He's going to be signed with another team. You push the reset button, and the Pittsburgh Steelers have another chance to win a championship next year.
They can start without that, and hopefully that calmer tone
That's going to help.
Yeah, can set the way for the rest of the season. Find another job on a lot of people's lists, Coach. Bring us home. Who needs to find another job?
Well, we just had an extensive conversation about Lamar Jackson. I'm going to go Joe Flacco.
And
look,
therein
Joe
lies the
Flacco's
reason.
had a great career in Baltimore. He won them a Super Bowl, brought the Lombardi Trophy home to Baltimore. And there's going to be a big market for Joe Flacco. There's teams out there that are going to be looking for quarterbacks. This guy's proven himself. Again, like I said, the Lombardi Trophy. But Lamar Jackson is now the quarterback of the Baltimore Ravens. They're getting ready to make what I think is going to be a long playoff push.
We go back to that one number, 6-1.
Yep.
Could have been 7-0. There you go. All right, JoJo, get ready. Get your coffee ready. Coming up on NFL Live, Cup of Joe is brewing.
I'll take a cup.
Interview season is in full swing. We'll talk about these open coaching positions next. Full swing, 8 head coaching positions available at this point in time. Here are the names that are currently being interviewed today for positions around the league. For the Jets, Eric Bieniemy. The Bucs, also Eric Bieniemy. He's the Chiefs offensive coordinator. Broncos, Chuck Pagano. The Cardinals will talk to Adam Gase. And the Bengals will interview Hugh Jackson. And so it is a perfect time, really, for a Cup of Joe. Josina Anderson, our insider who follows all of these things. What do you hear, Josina, about the way this process is unfolding this time around?
Well, we talked first about, Vance Joseph and obviously getting an opportunity, as I reported earlier this morning, to interview with the Bengals, not just Thursday, but Friday, obviously, after losing his job in Denver, and then Hugh Jackson getting an opportunity to do that now. We talked about George Edwards traveling for his interview with the Bucs on Friday, and then Bieniemy interviewing with the Jets and also the Bucs as well today. You have a lot of coaches that are getting these opportunities now because there are 8 positions that are opening. Hot names include Brian Flores, Zach Taylor, quarterbacks coach of the Rams, Josh McDaniels, and what have you. So, but the other thing that is illuminated by these openings is just some of the things that we have been talking about since Monday and why these jobs are opening. And I wanted to just illuminate a letter that I received from a former coach in the NFL prior to, after some of these coaches were let go. And he just wanted to underline this, that 5 of the 8 coaches that were fired were African American. And he felt like this is a disturbing trend in the NFL right now because in his estimation, there is no regard for allowing these coaches to build their culture and to build what they're trying to establish with their tenures, and that they're happening too quickly. This leaves 2 head coaches in the NFL who are African American, that being Anthony Lynn and Mike Tomlin. Obviously, you have Coach Ron Rivera, who is with the Carolina Panthers. Also, this head coach saying that, Steve Wilkes getting just 1 year in Arizona, in his estimation, is an absolute joke. And he says you look at some of the teams that have first-year head coaches who also had not just veteran quarterbacks, but solidified veteran quarterbacks, that being the Giants, who finished at 5-11 with Eli Manning, the Raiders, who finished at 4-12, and the Lions, who finished at 6-10. And the last 2 points that he made was what autonomy really did Vance Joseph have in picking his quarterback. We know that Case Keenum finished with a QBR of 29 this year, Trevor Siemian the year before at 32. And lastly, the note that he put out there was just the fact, in his estimation, of course, this being his quote, how much he feels like the political climate is having an impact on the hiring in the National Football League. So those are some of the things that you are hearing across the league. This was a letter that was personally sent to me that they wanted to have out as a voice for some of the African-American coaches in the National Football League.
I think Steve Wilkes in particular, hard to imagine anybody turn that thing around in one season. I mean, it just was nearly impossible. On another note, as we look ahead to Wild Card Weekend, you've got the Cowboys who've got a big game against the Seahawks. They previously shut out the Colts, the Cowboys did. What did they learn from that, and what's the mindset of Dallas moving forward?
Well, I talked to defensive lineman DeMarcus Lawrence, and you know he's always colorful. And I said, listen, did you guys learn your lesson after getting shut out by the Colts a couple of weeks ago? He said, we are locked and loaded. We are focused right now. We've been 2-0 since then. I said, yeah, but what about the 35 points that you gave up against the Giants? That's bad timing going into the playoffs. And he said, first of all, myself and Ty Crawford, we barely played, so that's not a big deal. And he also mentioned that he gave a speech to his team yesterday saying, we have to turn up the intensity. We have to turn up the focus. This is my third playoffs right now, and I need for you guys to understand that just one guy out of his spot, okay, can mean a change and a difference in the result for us right now. So he said, why can't we be successful, make money, and live out our dreams? So that's what he's saying to the team right now. And lastly, I said, but you know that Seattle team played the Chiefs pretty well. You know, they won 38-31 and was able to get up 38 points. And the last thing he said was that, first of all, that Chiefs defense is not our defense. He said, no disrespect against them, but we are a different breed. We play harder and we play faster, and the whole world will see that, you know, come Saturday.
Come Saturday, it'll be the second playoff meeting between the Cowboys and Seahawks. The other in 2006, that was that wild card game where Tony Romo had the botched hold on the late field goal, and we know what happened there.
Yes.
Okay. JoJo, thank you. Always interesting. We've got team celebrations, record-breaking performances, and a miracle or two. Images of the year on deck.
This is the game. Rolls to the right, throws to the end zone, caught! It's good! It's good!